And we're back. I'm Cherise, and we're here with our first session for our Mother's Day program. Today we have with us Miss Shirley Ramnarine, who I would have mentioned is our cancer survivor with us. Miss Shirley, thank you so much for being here with us.
You're most welcome, Cherise.
So how are you doing?
Fine, great.
Good. So we're going to discuss basically your experience.
Yes.
Right? So we're going to start a little far back. Tell us about how you grew up. How was life, for you in terms of, your family life and career?
Being the last of the family,
Uh-huh.
my life was not difficult with my parents. Anything we wanted, my parents gave it to us. So we had a nice upbringing from small, went to school, we never were in want of anything. It was a good upbringing.
Good. So tell me about your aspirations, what you wanted to do and that sort of thing. What are your career?
Okay, when I was growing up, and it used to be like common entrance before, and I sat the common entrance. I passed my common entrance for ModSec. I went just to high school for 5 years, but the only thing is, what deterred me from being a teacher is that I could have never sink in maths into my head. Algebra was the worst subject for me.
I hate it too.
So
I hate it too.
I did health science, I did history, geography, economics, everything. After that, I really wanted to go into teaching, but it was a no-no because of that maths. So eventually my uncle, one of my mother's brother, he opened a travel agency. He was a principal.
Okay.
And this is how he encouraged me to get into the travel industry.
So you're still in it?
I'm still in it.
You're still in it. After how
I
many
love
years?
it. It's almost 30 years I'm
Wow.
in it.
30 years.
So I am a first travel agent. I travel extensively all over the world.
Tell me so many places you would have gone to.
I went to London, I went to Germany, I went to Switzerland, I went to Holland, I went to Toronto, Montreal, all of North America, South America, just about 2 places, the whole of the Caribbean.
Whole of the Caribbean.
All of the Caribbean I've been
But
to.
I have a Euro trip planned for this year as well.
Oh,
I'm
that's
so
wonderful.
excited. I'm really, really, really excited.
Anywhere
about
you
that.
go in the world today, Europe is a memorable holiday. The place,
I'm
the
really looking
atmosphere,
forward for it.
the people, the food.
Yeah.
It's really, really will be a tremendous trip if you go to London.
I'll be there for about 22 days, so I'm really
You
looking
should have
forward.
gone there for 2 months.
Oh, good now. I can't afford 2 months. I could have been about 22 days in the moment.
Okay.
Alright, so progressing along after you became a travel agent, what, did you get married? Did you have kids?
Yes, I got married. I always had the motivation to have my own home. So my husband and I built a house in Chaguanas, and from there the traveling continued. Then we had a beautiful kitchen garden.
Nice.
So we never ever had to buy any sort of green vegetables. We grow our vegetables. It was so lovely in the evening. I always like to bake, so I'll bake cake, and we would have a cup of tea in the garden. It was so beautiful. And then after that, we thought of migrating. And this is where a little problem arose.
What problem is this?
The problem is that when he went, and we were separated for about 3 years, this is where the problem came, and then I was forced with a divorce.
Forced with a divorce?
Yeah, it was presented to me like a gift, not knowing he was bringing on a divorce to me because he was having an affair with another woman. So that
I would have never thought somebody considered a divorce a gift, but...
Well, I accepted it.
Okay.
Because in life it has much more values that we can appreciate than that's in the past.
Yes.
So I moved on, and then I had to do settlement of the house and all of that. With that stress now, Cherise, it was really, really heartbreaking.
I can imagine.
Sometimes I will try to save back my money in order to pay my bills. But I must thank God that I have great family. My brothers and my sisters was my full support to me.
Network,
My sister from England, she would have helped me every month to pay the mortgage until I got settlement.
Okay.
But anyway, that's in the past.
That's in the past, yes.
Then eventually I got sick. And this is where I realized that I was really going down with depression, and then all over my skin. I used to have like white marks all over my skin.
Okay.
And then I went to the doctor. And then they gave me Dr. Basanta.
Yeah.
And then they gave me certain medicine and stuff like that. After that, one day, this is how the cancer came on, with the depression and the stress.
Stress and depression.
Stress is the biggest killer that anybody can encounter.
People always say stress is a silent killer, but you're telling me that stress actually brought on your sickness.
Because every night I will cry. It's not a night I went to bed without that pillow being wet.
Wow.
And I tried to save back money to feed my dogs and to pay the mortgage. So sometimes I'm not ashamed of saying it.
Okay.
Sometimes I would not buy the necessary things in the grocery. I would eat cornflakes and milk to sleep. And my big brother, which is Hubert Ramnarine, he said I am his last sister. And he couldn't see the stress that I was going through. Pack up, sell, clear out the bank because it was a lot of money, come back home. And while I was home one day, my sister, who lived in London, she's back home, and we were just funning around. And eventually we were funning so much that she gave me a lash on my boobs.
Ow.
So it hurt. And from there, then I realized that something was wrong.
It wasn't like a normal...
It was not a normal hurt. So I spoke to my sister in Port of Spain, and she works at Sinclair Nursing Home. So she said she'll come, let Dr. Maraj, do a biopsy or check what it is really going on there, because I felt a lump. So I went to the doctor, and they did the biopsy for me. It came back negative. Everything was super.
Blood work, everything
Everything was okay.
Good.
But the doctor was so persistent that he told my sister, he said, Jean, Shirley is a wonderful person, and I would really like to remove that lump from her.
Even with all the negative blood?
With all the negative blood reports, all the negative cancer reports and stuff like that. He said that he would like me to have that lump removed. So
how do you feel about that? I mean, nothing is wrong, and he's still persistent to take out the lump.
Yeah, because he said in future you do not know if this lump could turn malignant.
Malignant, right.
So I said, okay, I told my sister, okay, Jean, I will come back to Dr. Maraj. What a blessed doctor he is. He said, Shirley, we're going to take out the lump. So I did a local anesthetic to have the lump removed. And there is when Cherise, they found a little cancer cell hiding behind the lump. When the results came back, I was devastated.
I mean, how lucky are you that he would have decided to, be
to leave the lump when he did the lumpectomy? He said no, he wants to take off the lump. So in 2 weeks I went back. And this is how I had the lump removed. And this is where Dr. Janki, a pathologist, did the report. And he's the one who saw that it was 0.1%.
0.1. Look at a small chance.
I was so lucky. I was so fortunate.
Yes.
And from there, I never hesitated to have my chemo and have my radiation. I just listened attentively to my doctor's instructions, what they had to tell me, what I had to do. But
tell me what your experience was like for doing the chemo and the radiation, because different people would have different experiences, how it affected them and that. Tell me, what was your experience?
The first day I had the chemo, I was scared because I thought my whole body would go into shock. I thought it would burn my body like if you eat pepper or something like that. But my doctor, who is Dr. Ramesh at NRC, he was a super oncologist.
Nice.
He gave me all the outline, surely what you expect, what how you could react, what you should eat while you're having your
so you had to change your diet and all of that
and stuff like that. So I said okay, and I just went along. But I accepted it with God's grace.
God's grace.
I did not for one day was scared of anything. My doctors used to just admire me in NRC.
Really?
Really,
positive outlook.
Positive. And that's the way people should go.
Really?
Positive. Positive gives you back a positive vibe.
Nice.
And it was not difficult for me to take the chemo. It's just when my hair started to drop.
Wow.
I was a bit devastated. My eyebrows went, my hair went, I had no hair on my head. How would I face the public?
Yeah.
What will I do? I don't want to put on a scarf. How would I look like an old woman?
Oh my.
So no.
But how did people react to you with the hair? And you know, I'm sure you had to wear a wig after a while.
I did.
But how did people react to you when they started seeing you, you know, losing the hair and then, you know, having
It's
to
just
wear a
my
wig?
immediate family saw me losing my hair.
Okay.
No strangers at work in my office.
Okay.
Nobody saw my hair lost.
But they would have known that you were ill at the time.
Nobody knew. I was normal.
Really?
Normal.
So you had no side effects, no.
Just the side effects was like, you know, you get thirsty.
Yeah.
And like the second day that I had the second regime of the chemo, I had soup with broccoli.
Okay.
And
not too bad.
that wasn't too bad, but the second dose I vomit. And that kind of deterred my mind from broccoli. I would eat it now.
Yeah.
But you know, with the memories of how I vomit, and I was sick, and when you do the chemo, you pass out on a bed, you don't know anything for the night, your tongue is heavy, you don't have no taste whatsoever. Watermelon, oranges, and there is a Chinese tamarind called pecorino.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that brought back taste into my mouth.
Wow,
I couldn't eat food.
Because I was not going to ask you if you could kind of tell me kind of things that you had to stay away from while you were doing treatment. How many foods that
You had no appetite whatsoever. It was just fruits and like a toast. You try to drink, I used to try to drink club soda.
Yeah.
To sort of give a fizzy taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But other than that, you just wanted fruits. And my likeness was watermelon and oranges.
Okay. But when the doctor would have had a discussion with you in terms of your diet, how much did you have to change in terms of what you used to eat before to what you couldn't eat now that you were...
Well, I was never a meat lover.
Okay.
I love vegetables.
Okay.
So my diet really didn't change that much.
Okay.
Because I don't eat pork or beef or nothing.
Okay.
Just a little piece of chicken and everything else is vegetable.
Everything else
and
is
now
vegetable.
my mind is even turning from the chicken.
Really?
Yes, I love vegetables.
Really?
Yes.
You hardly ever people say I love veggies.
I can eat rice and pumpkin. And I'm comfortable.
No, I prefer roti and pumpkin, not rice and pumpkin. Roti and pumpkin. We don't do the rice and pumpkin. No. We don't do the rice and pumpkin at all.
And from there, I used to work. I went to work. I used to have my radiation done at Southern Medical. I would walk to work. I would go back on my desk, go on my computer, do my ticketing, do whatever, because I own a travel agency, which is 5-star travel service. Really? Yes.
Nice.
I service customers. We drop tickets home, we do visas, all of that stuff. And nobody ever knew that if I didn't tell them, they wouldn't know.
So it didn't affect your life at all in any way in terms of your work-life balance and all of that?
No. I just went along with life like if there was no cancer.
No cancer.
No.
So what about retesting after a while for, you know...
I do it on a yearly basis.
Okay.
Yes. Next week I have to go for general blood test and mammogram and pap smear and stuff like that. Okay. And my doctor, well, I'll go back to NRC and he will check everything and everything will be okay.
Okay. So if it is you had to meet someone who would have gone through similar experiences, what would you tell them?
Think positive.
Think positive.
Don't even think cancer is going to kill me tomorrow or cancer going to kill me a year from now. Because people have diabetes, they have high blood pressure, they could have kidney failure. And they still have to die. We all have to die. So positive thinking helps so much.
Well, I know before we would have been discussing, you know, the fact that you're a Christian. How did your faith impact, or how did your faith see you through all this adversity over how many years?
All these years, and before, I was always a Christian. And more so now, even though I go to church regularly, but while I'm doing my housework, or while I'm doing my cooking or my baking, I always have good thoughts in me, and I always like chant like a prayer in me. God, thank you. When I get up in the morning, I thank the Lord that I've seen another day. I've seen the sunshine.
Of course.
And God has been blessing me tremendously. because it was a rough road. It was a rough road.
I could only imagine.
It was. But I thank my dear friends. I thank my family. I thank my neighbors.
Nice.
I thank my niece, who is Karen. She has been a great support. And my sister-in-law is playing nurse.
Yes.
And my eldest brother, they were the best support. They will come and sit down sometimes. After the chemo, I will just sleep away and I'm unconscious.
Oh.
And sometimes if I wake up 2 or 3 in the morning, I'll see them sitting here and watching at me.
I could only imagine having that support would have really helped along the way.
Support, yes.
Really
they were really, friends were really dear to me.
Right. So Shirley, thank you so much
for
just sitting and sharing with you. And we hope that with anyone else who would have been going through a situation like this, you know, you would have a positive outlook and, you know, your faith will carry you through. This is Sandoz Transition Week TV. Thank you for watching.